Hi, I'm Payam from Payam Data Recovery. I'd like to share with you an example of a RAID recovery that we did at our data recovery lab here in Sydney this week. One second, I'll show you. So this is a Synology NAS unit. Now this particular RAID system over here, 12 drives in there. There was actually 12 8TB drives in this unit. Now this particular unit, our client told us that one drive failed. They tried to rebuild the RAID, and unfortunately during the RAID rebuilding phase, one of the other drives failed, which is actually very, very common. Normally you'll find with the RAID 5, the drives have been running, for example, for 2 or 3 years, or maybe one of them's developing some bad sectors or bad blocks, then maybe another one's doing the same thing, and one of them could have been failing for a longer period of time. And often it's not due to shock. This looks like it's been installed in a rack. And the good news is that when we removed all these drives one at a time, we basically confirmed that which drives are actually working, which ones are not working. We cloned all the good drives, and then the bad ones, we actually temporarily made some changes to the firmware, then cloned those, and using data recovery software, we're able to recover all the data. This one has actually posed a new challenge because I think it was like 60 terabytes of data or something on this one. So the challenge there is transferring it across and copying it and making a backup. It's a bit of a new challenge for data recovery companies. It's more data, more time really. Everything just takes more time. Now this particular customer luckily had backups and snapshots of backups, and they actually didn't need the whole 60 terabytes. So it turned out they only needed about 9 terabytes of it. So that one was successfully recovered. Now, the advice I give you if you do have a RAID array, or generally a RAID 5 or RAID 6 are the most common things that we see from businesses. The biggest mistake you can make is actually reformatting or reconfiguring the RAID. It actually happens quite a lot. We get managed IT service professionals, computer support technicians. They feel stressed, under pressure. Their clients pushing them, their clients stressing them out. They don't know what to do. Their clients demanding a quick fix because no one can do any work. And sometimes a young or inexperienced IT professional may kind of just do what the client asks them. And instead of doing what they know is right, which is not making it worse, not damaging it, not deleting things, formatting things, deleting RAIDs, creating new RAIDs when there is no backup, they might make the mistake and do that. So first thing is never delete the RAID configuration, never create a new RAID configuration in the RAID controller or the RAID software, never format it, never delete anything, never really just do anything that you think is actually going to be difficult to undo. Now, the majority of the time, if you don't do those things and you just bring the RAID unit like this one down here on the floor, it weighs about like 50 kilos, it's really heavy, is that we are able to successfully recover the data probably 99% of the time with failed RAIDs. I even have one actually just over there, came from our New Zealand office, and that was from a Pegasus Thunderbolt RAID unit that had 8 drives configured as RAID 0, and 6 out of 8 drives actually just suddenly failed, which I find it really hard to kind of believe it suddenly failed. It is possible, but more than likely I think someone probably just banged something into it and knocked it over on its side and just didn't tell their boss. Probably just physical shock or impact. It's very unlikely 6 out of 8 drives die on their own, and the unit was only about 3 months old. So now, yeah, that's 2 examples: Synology RAID and Pegasus one over there on a computer over there. Sorry, it's out of the view of the camera. So if you've got a RAID unit, just power it off. Ideally, just number the drives in the trays that you saw below, those little removable trays. If they don't have any ID or number, just number them yourself, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring the drives to a data recovery company like ours. We've got offices all around Australia and New Zealand. We'll test it for free. We'll tell you what the problem is. We'll tell you how long it'll take. If it's irreplaceable data, it's very important not to take any chances and do anything that'll cause data loss. Bring it to us. We'd love to help. All right. Thank you.